This is the Community Forum on AM 1440. It's time for the Holly Hill Health Hour with Jim Wilk. Talk live on WNPV by calling 215-855-8211, 215-723-2116, or toll free at 1-800-355-WNPV.
Hey, everybody. Hope everyone's doing well out there. It's your host, Jim, from Holly Hill, and we got a pretty cool show today. Sound like Ed Sullivan there for a second. Pretty good show today. Something near and dear to my tummy. And we got Amber Veach. She's going to be on. She's an educator for Garden of Life, and they came out with some really cool adjuncts if you're following kind of a paleo keto type of a diet there. And we're going to be talking a little bit about that. And it's something that I've been dabbling in for the last couple of years and very interested in. I think there's a big buzz out there about it. A lot of websites that are dedicated to it. Documentary on Netflix was the Magic Pill with Pete Evans. He's the host of Australia's #1 television show, My Kitchen Rules. And he also had a whole PBS series called Movable Feast. And Pete's an advocate of this. Rob Wolf, who's very well known in the paleo circles there, he's on board with this. You've heard Dr. Josh Axe and Dr. Mercola, even LeBron James, Halle Berry. They're all kind of fooling around with this fantastic diet, which U.S. News and World Report, I just got a thing in today about healthy diets, their 2019 predictions and things. The keto diet, which is low carb, high fat, low protein, it rose from 13% in 2018 to number 2 on the best fast weight loss diet list. So, if you're looking to lose some extra pounds from the holidays there, this might be a way to go. Garden of Life just came out with some fantastic products that can help you along with that. So we're going to talk to Amber in just a little bit about that. Interesting stuff. I think there's a few different types of keto diets out there. It's still, in its kind of in its infancy as far as, saying this is exactly what it is. Maybe there never will be. It depends on the person and what their goals are and their activities. U.S. News and World, the Mediterranean still outranks everybody out there. But you can kind of tweak that a little bit too to go into a keto or a paleo type of thing. I found reading about all these diets, they had a whole bunch of them in there. What's the number one common denominator, right? You cut out the junk food, you cut out the sugar, you cut out the fast foods and things like that. They all have that as a central theme, and I think a lot of people miss that. It's stopping all the crap that you're putting in your body that can make a big difference, no matter which way you go on this. Because I don't think there is one thing for everybody diet, but I think one thing for everybody is that you can cut out the junk and things. And some people can sail through life eating that way, and God bless them. But it's a big part. We at the store, we love to help you buy your supplements and things, and they supplement a good diet. They don't take the place of one. Let's just remember that. And Garden Life just did a fantastic job. In fact, I'm having my morning coffee with their new butter powder, their organic grass-fed butter powder. How you like that? It's the first time I've seen butter in a powder form. But it's cool. You can take it with you, just like I did. So it mixes easily. It's got the probiotics in there. We'll talk a little bit that with Amber. Should be interesting. A little bit of housework here. Tomorrow, the lecture, our own Dr. Phil Pappas is going to be speaking from 11 to 12:30. We got a bunch of people coming. Hope the weather holds out. He was the former director of the Abington ADD program, and he's on our staff now, and he's going to be giving a simple free test that can point to many learning problems, and it should be interesting. I know he's passionate about this, and we can have some good times with that. So you can always call the store up. It's 215-361-7770 and reserve a seat for Phil tomorrow. We got a bunch of demos going on at the same time too. We have on Saturday. This is Well, we got CV Sciences. They're going to be on the show next week. Stuart's going to be on the show next week talking about CBD. I'm sure he has a lot to say with the passage of the Farm Bill and making the road to getting this into people's hands much more easily. I mean, we haven't had a problem, but I know there's some, laws going across the states and things like that, and shipping and taxes and all that. So this we should be an interesting show next week. We also have Host Defense, the mushroom company. They're there on Saturday from 11 to 2. And the Garden of Life that we're doing the show today, they got a demo on the 22nd. That's from 10:30 to 1:30. So a lot of things we'll be talking about today. We can demo. Stuff is on sale at the store for Garden of Life. We got it, 35% off on a lot of the products and an extra 10% off on others. So, good times. Got an ad in the Reporter that came out, and again, the probiotics. Garden of Life is going to be on there. 40% off on their two major probiotics there. They're men and women ones. We got a lot of immune products from Vibrant Health and Emerald Labs and Mega Foods. All 40% off suggested retails. The Ester C's on sale. The Boron Oscillococcinum, 35% off. Very good to keep in the house for the flu season. So I haven't seen many people come in the store with a flu problem there, so that's good. Jeff, you've run across anybody with flu? No. Why are you wearing that mask? I don't know. Or you're robbing the place? I don't know. That's Jeff Nolan in the driver's seat over there. What else? We got the sauna. We're going to be doing that. Told a lot of people we got the Relax, RELAX, Relax saunas in, and these are far infrared saunas, and it's a little different than the regular saunas that people are used to. And this goes right through the skin, helps with circulation, takes away the heavy metals and chemicals from the body. Lots of people feel it could burn calories and lose weight with this too. Very good. Heats up in 30 seconds. It's a nice portable one. You can come check it out at the store here. We've been selling them, and I have one. I think they're fantastic. It's something I look forward to doing every day or every other day. It fits right in the little corner of the house there. It's portable, and it's really a simple thing that can have so many benefits. So we're going to do a whole show of that. I think it's the first Friday in February. We're going to do a show on the far infrared sauna. It should be really interesting. So check that out. Couple articles before we get to Amber real quick. I mentioned that on our little interview with Jeff, our little recorded interview this morning, and about fish oils and a new study. This was published in Circulation and a journal, and it showed that fish oil, which has the omega-3s in it, right, the EPA, DHA, did not increase perioperative bleeding in surgery patients. And they said, in fact, higher blood omega-3 levels were associated with a lower risk of bleeding, which is pretty cool because we hear that all the time. The doctor says I have to stop taking my fish oil pills because I'm going into surgery, and they always thought it thinned the blood a little too much. And this study was over 1,000 patients, and they took pretty high doses, 6 to 8 grams of EPA DHA, which would be about 6 or so of the pills that we have in the store there. They took it over 2 to 5 days before surgery, then some during the surgery, and continued after until they got discharged. And there was no effect of the omega-3 treatment on the outcome of the post-op arterial fibrillation. So it really, they're going to have to look at this thing about fish oils. Obviously you should follow your doctor's orders, but it might be a good article for him to read. Tell him it was in Circulation, and those omega-3s are important, folks. So it's something to look into there. The other little thing, what was I going to do on the ad? I guess that can wait. I was just talking about, the food pyramid. All right, we're going to take a quick break because I want to get Amber on. I want to start talking about keto. So fast a little. We'll be right back.
Introducing My Kind Organics, a whole food multivitamin that's USDA certified organic and non-GMO project verified from real, honest, nutritious foods. My Kind Organics. It's the first of its kind, and it's one of a kind. With over 30 organic fruits, veggies, and herbs, My Kind Organics is the first USDA certified organic and non-GMO project verified multi-available. In short, My Kind Organics is real, honest, nutritious, certified organic whole foods with all the benefits from whole plant foods, including vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and other nutrients that serve to support extraordinary health. And My Kind Organics provides a full range of USDA certified organic, non-GMO project verified food supplements to benefit specific dietary needs, including age and gender specific formulas. You're one of a kind and you deserve a one of a kind multi. My Kind Organics is here. Get yours today. Available locally at Holly Hill Health Foods in the Montgomery Common Shopping Center, Route 63, North Wales. A healthy new year starts at Holly Hill Health Foods. The entire lines of Country Life, New Chapter, Renew Life, and Now Vitamins are all 35 to 55% off. Feel the difference when you rid your body of toxins with Michael's 2-week Ultimate Detox. Easy to take with meals, this lab-tested and gluten-free formulation cleanses blood, colon, liver, and even toxins stored in fats. Right now at Holly Hill, a 42-packet box is just $22.99. Save over $15. Also at Holly Hill this month, prepare to fight cold and flu with Nature's Way Sambucus Immune Formula with standardized elderberry, echinacea, zinc, propolis, and vitamin C. It's a delicious syrup in an 8-ounce bottle, only $19.99. You save $11. Happy New Year from the staff at Holly Hill Health Foods in the Montgomery Common Shopping Center, Route 63, North Wales. Online, hollyhillvitamins.com. All discounts are off manufacturer suggested prices.
WNPV AM 1440.
All right, we are back, and on the phone, I have Amber Viets, educator for Garden of Life, and my personal educator from a few weeks ago. Hi, Amber.
Hey, I know we finally got to meet in person.
Yeah, it was awesome. Amber gave a staff training, and see, we just don't stop at 5 or 6 o'clock, folks. We go out to dinner and learn.
And we eat good food.
And we eat good food. And thank you for that. We learned a lot that night. And that's awesome to do. I really appreciate the people like yourself who come out and teach us and educate us and feed us too at the same time. But it really makes a difference. It's hard a lot of times. You get things in the store and they put them on the shelf and then people buy them and you don't get to really understand it. And people like yourself, Amber, really make it easy for people to understand. So we do appreciate doing that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sure. So, I've been dabbling in this, we got to go over it because I've never done a show on keto and I always wanted to do one. And
I'm your first show on keto.
You're my first, right?
Goodness,
yeah.
I'm so excited. We'll figure it all out together.
Right. And I like I said, I've been dabbling in it for a while, and it just made sense to me when I looked at the research on it, and when I saw Pete's show on the magic pill, and it's funny, there was no pills involved. That's so funny. He called
exactly.
it that. Yeah, and saw that when he went around the world and things and talked to people and put the Aborigines on this type of a diet and things like that, how their diabetes kind of evaporated and everything started to stabilize in these people's lives, their weight, their blood pressure, and all that stuff. So so how ingrained are you into this? No pun intended.
Yeah, right. I'm ungrained.
Maybe you can give a quick definition, or not a quick definition. We got a whole show here on what keto is and what keto isn't.
Right. Well, so the first thing that I always want to tell, your staff members, that I would tell someone on the aisle, a customer that's asking about it, especially if someone is coming in and saying, I heard this keto thing can really help me lose weight. And so if weight loss is their primary reason for coming in to talk to you about keto, it's highly likely that they have some bad food habits that are pretty ingrained in their lifestyle. Mm-hmm. And so it's really, really, really important remembering the failures of the Atkins days, and so important to find out what kind of plant this person that you're talking to already eats. And if tomatoes and potatoes are their only two plants, and maybe some peas and corn, which is a huge portion of our U.S. population,
right,
then the first thing we need to do is really get them on more vegetables. And what I found when I had a nutrition practice was that so many people just couldn't remember what vegetables were out there. You know, they were kind of stuck on their green beans, broccoli, asparagus once in a while when it was the right price, some iceberg lettuce, maybe some butter lettuce, you know, and they just couldn't think of something else. And so it's really so helpful to print out lists of vegetables that are available to people. Luckily, our new magazine, the EH Magazine, with Catherine Zeta-Jones on the cover, while she's easy on the eyes, if you flip to the inside, you've got a list on page 25 of keto-friendly foods, and the first 1.5 columns, 2 columns, is vegetables, non-starchy vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't even want to talk about keto if we can't talk about vegetables first. And then secondarily, as I've heard Pete Evans say, Rob Wolf say, Mark Sisson say, Dr. Perlmutter say, Mark Hyman, all the thought leaders say the same thing. If you are not willing to pay what it takes or go searching to find a way to get grass-fed beef, lamb, naturally raised and properly fed pork, if you're going to eat pork, wild-caught fish, free-range chicken, free-range eggs, you know, wild meat, if you're not going to go to that effort, then please remain plant-based, vegetarian type diet. Because in the fat, we're going to change our ratios where most of our calories are coming from fat, and you're going to be getting a lot of fat from animals because you like butter. I like butter. Cream. I like hard cheese. These are all things that we can keep eating on the keto diet. That gristle on the steak, yes, you could go for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
If your animals are properly raised. If not, all those toxins, all those pesticides that are fat soluble, guess where they are?
Yeah.
They're in your milk, they're in your cream, they're in your butter, they're in your gristle fat, you know, the chicken skin, all of that stuff.
Good point.
So why did they tell us for so long that fat makes you fat? Well, because fat has 9 calories per gram of weight of fat, whereas carbohydrates have 4 calories. So there's more than twice the energy for the same weight of macronutrients between carbs and fats. And also proteins are only 4 calories.
Right.
And so there was just this, it was logical. Fat makes you fat. It's got more calories. But I love what Dr. Perlmutter said, and I don't know if he's the only one who said it, but it makes so much sense to me. Let's just think about ancestrally, because I always, when somebody throws a fad diet in front of me, says, what about this diet? What about that diet? I'm like, let's just center ourselves a moment and think, what would the ancestors do? You know, because you can really put it into a good critical thinking experiment.
Mm-hmm.
And ancestrally, and we're not that far away from that as humans, we're much more connected to ancestral eating than we are to modern eating and refined and processed foods as far as the amount of time that we've spent in one state or another. And ancestrally, when you ate sugar, your body said, short times are coming. The winter is coming, the dry season is coming, a shortage is coming, I better store this as fat. And when we ate fat, it meant that we just killed something, or we just found a stash of nuts, or we just found a bunch of yummy grubs, you know, or something that was full of fat and nutrition that was going to sustain us, and the body was relaxed. It says, fine, great, good, I've got plenty. I don't need to store it. We'll eat what's satiating, and then we'll go run around and take care of all the other things we got to do.
Right.
So that is logical. And it makes so much sense. We know now how inflammatory sugar is in all of the forms that it comes. Grains, processed foods, flours, sugars, refined sugars, you know, even too much fruit for some people can be inflammatory. If you live in the Amazon rainforest and you have fruit dropping off trees all the time, and that is your year-round a part of your diet, and it's the same temperature all year round, and you don't even have to wear clothes practically, you know, a fruit-based diet is a different thing for you. If you live in Pennsylvania, if you live in Michigan, if you live in New York, and it's winter, fruit-based diet is not really for you. You know, that's just not what we're not what we're supposed to be doing.
Right. Right.
Not supposed to be doing that to live our lifestyle. So if we just assume that the best diet, and you were speaking about the Mediterranean diet, because that's a very good balance point. But the Mediterranean diet that we're talking about is not the one with pita and gyros and, you know, baklava, as good as all those things are.
Oh, yes, the baklava.
It's the Mediterranean diet with wild-caught fish, all those omega-3s, anchovies, sardines. You've got some legumes. You've got all the brightly colored vegetables, certain brightly colored fruits as well. You might have some whole grains, but they're not typically wheat. And, you've got activity and sunshine as a part of everyday existence. You might have a fermented, high polyphenol content beverage as a part of your culture, i.e. red wine or something like that,
right.
Balsamic vinegar. And so let's just take that basic group of very healthy whole foods and let's just shift it in one direction or another. If we go the paleo or primal direction, you're going to shift it more toward protein, and you'll have certain goals for that. But you still have your plate smothered in vegetables first. And if you shift it in the keto direction, you're focusing more on the good fat, but your plate still starts smothered in vegetables. It's just that you have less protein, and we're not using starchy vegetables. Paleo diet can use, yucca and plantain and, other root vegetables, parsnips, these kinds of things. The keto diet doesn't because they're too high in carbohydrates. The keto diet uses all non-starchy vegetables as a priority for the most part. And so the goal with the keto diet is to remind your cells that they do know how to burn fat for energy as well as carbs. That if you rolled out of the cave in the morning and you looked around the fire and all the bear fat was gone from the night before and you've got a grumbly tummy, but you're going to have to go back and gather up something that you saw 2 days ago or go on a hunt. But first you kind of have to fix your shoe, your moccasin, or your spear thrower, or your basket. And so you're going to sit down and you're going to do it even though your tummy is hungry. You can't be saying, oh, I'm so faint and hungry. I'm so grumpy. Just get away from me. I can't talk to you until I get coffee and a muffin. You can't be saying that. If you see some deer wander by, you've got to be able to get grok and jump up and go and...
See, Amber, I would have made enough money with the currency at the time to pay someone to go do that. That's what my thinking.
See, you'd have been sitting in the cave. You'd be
right.
Like, I'll give you
I was the guy who invented the wheel, and I patented it. So I made some money there, made some guilt. But you're right, yeah, and you're right so much about the vegetables and things, and I think a lot of people don't realize that you get your energy either from sugar and carbs or you get your energy from fat. Which would you rather do, folks? That kind of a thing. And I've noticed that, I'm not into that fast weight loss thing. I don't. It always has another side to it. But you see people drop weight on the keto diet so quickly, but they're full. They're not eating as much. It's amazing.
It is, and you have to remember, for those that have tried it, I'm just going to put this out there too, that have tried it or dipped into it and said it didn't immediately get the weight loss results that they were looking for.
Right.
I forget where I saw some data on this, but that just made me go, oh yeah, that totally makes sense. If you are overweight or obese, if you do have insulin resistance, if you do have diabetes, if you are headed toward heart disease or already diagnosed, your liver is probably marbled with and maybe even coated with fat, as is there's adipose tissue in and on your internal organs. This is the one that the doctor says is the most dangerous. This is the one they really want you to get rid of if you have cardiovascular disease. This is the one that's very inflammatory and is its own organ and creates inflammatory signals and is just messing with your entire physiology. And so when you flip your switch in your body and start to teach your body by changing your ratios of what you're consuming that fat is going to be the primary energy source now. And when that engine starts going and it starts burning this clean fat fuel, and when you don't get as many calories as you need to maintain the frame that you have right now, your cells will start looking for internal fat to burn. Mm-hmm. And the first is going to be the stuff that makes the body function better. And so you might not lose fat that you can see on your belly. You might not lose fat on your thighs or on your arms that you can see. You might start by losing fat internally. You might start by losing fat on the liver and that apron of fat that lays over the internal organs, because losing that, getting rid of that, is going to make your liver and your organs function better and going to facilitate better long-term weight loss and better health outcomes all the way through. So even when you plateau, you might have some initial weight loss and you might plateau. Give your body a minute. Again, all those toxins are stored in fat. The same is true for you. And if you have toxins stored in your fat, as you start to break that fat down and use it for energy, all your body has to deal with all those toxins all over again. Like, hey, I thought we saw this, 5 years ago, and now we got to deal with it again. I thought I put that in a box somewhere.
Yeah.
Now we got to really process it out. And so this is why, glutathione production is so important.
Right.
On the ketogenic diet, and this is why we formulated our products the way we did, to have higher cysteine content, which is one of the 3 base amino acids that your body uses to make glutathione, because that's a huge detoxifying compound that is best made inside of you, and therefore helps you function better through this kind of weight loss, if that is the goal.
Now, folks, when Garden of Life came out with Dr. Perlmutter, he's the one that formulated the keto products. They have a really cool guide, and it's about a 30-page guide, but it gives you all the vegetables you need to eat, all the things to stay away from. It gives you a great 7-day plan. I was following this, including some of the new Garden of Life products to help you along with this idea. There's a lot of websites to go to. Keto Summit, I like.com. I like Mark's Daily Apple, Mark Sison. Is you go to Dr. Mercola.com. You can find out a lot about keto diets out there. The products are just fantastic. I don't know if you heard me. I was just put the organic grass-fed butter powder in my coffee. I've been using that now for about a week. I did used to put a little heavy cream in there, and I just switched over to this, and it's so nice because you can take it with you, which is great.
Right. That's right. You had a little taste of that at the training.
Yes. So I'm hooked.
Yeah. No, it's great for me to travel too.
Yeah. So we're going to talk a little bit. Jeff, can we go to a break now? Jeff, is okay? About 1 minute. Okay, because I want to go over some of the great products here. You do that now? Okay, we're going to take a quick break, Amber, and come back. We're going to talk about some of the great products from Garden of Life to help along with this diet. Be right back.
Introducing My Kind Organics, a whole food multivitamin that's USDA certified organic and non-GMO project verified from real, honest, nutritious foods. My Kind Organics. It's the first of its kind, and it's one of a kind. With over 30 organic fruits, veggies, and herbs, My Kind Organics is the first USDA certified organic and non-GMO project verified multi-available. In short, My Kind Organics is real, honest, nutritious, certified organic whole foods with all the benefits from whole plant foods, including vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and other nutrients that serve to support extraordinary health. And My Kind Organics provides a full range of USDA certified organic, non-GMO project verified food supplements to benefit specific dietary needs, including age and gender specific formulas. You're one of a kind and you deserve a one of a kind multi. My Kind Organics is here. Get yours today. Available locally at Holly Hill Health Foods in the Montgomery Common Shopping Center, Route 63, North Wales. A healthy new year starts at Holly Hill Health Foods. The entire lines of Country Life, New Chapter, Renew Life, and Now Vitamins are all 35 to 55% off. Feel the difference when you rid your body of toxins with Michael's 2-week Ultimate Detox. Easy to take with meals, this lab-tested and gluten-free formulation cleanses blood, colon, liver, and even toxins stored in fats. Right now at Holly Hill, a 42-packet box is just $22.99. Save over $15. Also at Holly Hill this month, prepare to fight cold and flu with Nature's Way Sambucus Immune Formula with standardized elderberry, echinacea, zinc, propolis, and vitamin C. It's a delicious syrup in an 8-ounce bottle, only $19.99. You save $11. Happy New Year from the staff at Holly Hill Health Foods in the Montgomery Common Shopping Center, Route 63, North Wales. Online, hollyhillvitamins.com. All discounts are off manufacturer suggested prices.
WNPV AM 1440.
He likes bread and butter. He likes toasted town.
That was for you, Amber.
Thank you.
And again, we're speaking with Amber Viets, and she's one of the top educators for Garden of Life. And we're talking about the doctor-formulated keto products. These are products that Dr. Perlmutter formulated to help if you're trying to stick to this type of a diet, to try to get your blood sugar levels working better, to try to get a little weight loss, brain health, all that stuff. And Garden of Life, when they come out with something, they do it right, folks. Usually as organic as much as possible, non-GMO, all certified and everything. And you got to respect the company that does that. let's talk about some of the products here. Now, we talked about keto diet. The whole idea is you get into a state of ketosis. You're burning fat instead of sugar for energy in the body. But you guys came out with some products to help along with that. So please explain.
Right. So the idea for a ketogenic diet is that you're trying to keep the percentage of your calories that are coming from fat in the range from about 70 to 85%. 85% is really strict. I think that people who are at 85%, maybe they were reaching plateaus, or maybe they're working because of, on it because of dementia, or seizures, or so they've got a medical condition where the ketogenic diet has been demonstrated in research, which there is plenty of research out there, to have been beneficial, and they are keeping a very narrow margin of carbohydrates and protein for purpose, for specific purposes. But if you're trying to lose weight, you also want to gain muscle. You don't want to lose muscle as part of the poundage that you're losing as you lose weight. You want to lose fat as much as possible. So for that purpose, we kind of try to keep it between 70% of your calories coming from fat and a nice 20% from protein and 10% from carbs. That's a good range to aim for. And intermittent fasting, or extending the time from your last meal of the day to your first meal of the day, and keep pushing that back. So it's, where it was 12 hours and it's 14 and it's 16. This is a great way to start introducing your body to the concept of fasting, to burning fat for energy, body fat for energy, to producing ketones, to seeing how clear your brain can be.
Right.
And so then there's little tricks with that. This is where like the butter powder might come into play. You're trying to push that from, just the time that you're sleeping. You go to bed at 10 and you get up at 6, and you're like at 6 o'clock your tummy's grumbling, and you're like, I had dinner at 8, but now I've only had 10 hours of fasting, so I need to do 2 more. And then they said I should try to get to 14, and it's really tough, for some people starting out. And so this is where the whole concept of fat coffee comes in. Whether you chose a bulletproof type fat coffee, or, I've got my fat and fly coffee recipe that I put together, or you could do chai or golden milk or golden chai or matcha. There's all kinds of mediums for this. So you could just take a spoonful of butter if you want to. But the idea is that you don't add any carbs, you don't add any protein at that moment. You use fat, because even if you need to get a little bit of calories in because you're really struggling with learning to fast, you still want it to be that same form of calorie that you're trying to teach your body to burn. So you don't put in protein, you don't put in carbohydrates at that time, but you can use coffee, tea, chai, golden milk, all kinds of things as a medium to carry your fat. And you can use a little bit, you could use a lot. It kind of depends on what you need and what your goals are. Yeah. If you're normal weight, you're not trying to lose weight. So like me, like you, like Dr. Perlmutter, our fat coffee can have lots of fat in it, because that's the way we're kind of fueling our brain for the morning, because we're probably not planning to break fast until afternoon.
Right.
And so then this is what helps you get through the process. Some people might spend a little time here getting ready. Some people suggest that you start a keto diet with fasting. And if you've never fasted and you're really struggling to lose weight and you're struggling with blood sugar imbalances, that could be miserable.
Yeah.
It could be miserable. It could really throw you off. So sometimes it's better to start with something like MCT oil in your coffee, which can help you make ketones, even if you haven't been able to get all that other junk out of your diet yet. Even if you haven't been able to put 12 hours, 14 hours in between your last meal of yesterday and your first meal of today. MCT oil, because it's a derivative of coconut oil, there's shorter chains of fatty acids that don't require digestion but can slip in the bloodstream and go to the liver, and the liver's like, boom, cut it in half, make energy, make a ketone, and off we go. So even when you haven't dialed in how to be keto, MCT oil will help you make ketones and feel the benefits of that to your brain, to your energy, and to your body, switching over from glucose dependency to fat dependency for energy.
Right.
So that's the first. You've had the MCT oil in your store for a while.
Right.
We now have an MCT powder, which again is for convenience. Well, at first I spent the first few weeks saying it's a convenience product, and I just changed my mind. So I said it's a convenience product because if you're at home and you've got MCT oil accessible, why not just use the oil?
Right.
It goes great even in cold beverages. But the powder the oil is sprayed onto acacia fiber. And so there's 3 grams of prebiotic fiber per 6 grams of MCT fat. And so now you've got something that's also at the same time supporting your microbiome, which tends to be a place where people lose track. They're trying to keep their carbs so low, they leave out fiber. Again, why the vegetables are so important.
Sure.
So here you are making your fat coffee. You're putting in MCT oil because you're trying to extend the period of time that you're not eating solid food or having any carbs or any protein, and you need a little help. And you're getting some fiber, which is going to feed your microbiome. And acacia fiber ferments all the way through the gut. That's really important. It doesn't just finish somewhere in the small intestine. It doesn't just make it to the upper part of the colon. It can ferment for 24 to 48 hours. So you get all the bugs, all the good bacteria get to have something to ferment. Yeah. So that's a really good place to start. Increase your vegetables, start adding MCT oil. Then when you're starting to get the ball rolling, now we can look at, okay, what are you going to break fast with? Is breakfast the most important meal of the day, Jim?
Not for me anymore.
But what does breakfast mean? It means
you're breaking a
break
fast.
the fast. So nobody said when you had to do it.
It's true.
Nobody said what time of day you have to do it. But how you do it certainly does make a difference, right? So you can't just jump in and be like, oh, my God, I've been fasting, and I'm going to just have a steak. Your body's going to say, hold it there, mister. I made that mistake yesterday. I felt so good all morning, didn't even have any of my coffee. I get on the train to come home. I brought with me this veggie burrito.
Right.
Oh, my gosh. It was good, but I felt, because it was just too much. It was too heavy to break the fast. So this is where the shakes can be really helpful for a lot of people. They help me, even though, I'm working from home today. I have a kitchen right here, but I'm busy. I got stuff going on. I'm on a project. I don't want to stop and make something. I want to eat later. So I whip up either Keto Fit or Keto Meal, which, without me even thinking about it, keeps me in the right ratios of around 70% of my calories coming from fat and 20% from protein. So the fat you're getting in Keto Fit and Keto Meal is from this butter powder that you were talking about, where it's New Zealand cows that have these basically cow Fitbits around their neck, and they just graze around on their own. They aren't herded by dogs. They're not being herded by even four-wheelers or anything. Nobody's running after them. Nobody's even whistling. They just wander into the barn when they feel like their udders are full.
Yeah, it's like cow hippies or something,
They're cow hippies. When they're like, hey, I'm feeling a little tight down there, so they wander into the dairy barn, and there's a gate that is electronically connected to their Fitbit, and if their Fitbit says, yeah, we weren't milked since last night, the gate opens and lets the cow in, and she goes to her stall, and then they get this automated massage while they get milked.
Nice.
It's like the Club Med for cows. So they're all chill, and their milk is full of all great kinds of immune, compounds because they're not stressed and they're not inflamed. They're just like, yeah, I felt like I needed milk. Great, I'm here. Okay, now what? And then they wander back on out. And then their milk is separated into the cream, and the cream goes to make this fabulous yellow butter because they've been grazing nonstop on, all kinds of plant foods that make high omega-3, high CLA, carotenoids, vitamin E, all these wonderful things we want in our milk if we're going to use milk products.
Right.
And then the non-fat milk that is left, they dehydrate it to a protein, a dry protein, and they can spray the liquid butter onto the protein and have that work as a powder. So 8 grams of fat per scoop and 1/2 gram of protein wind up being the ratios. And so this works perfectly. It keeps, your lactose count low because you're using butter and only a tiny bit of the milk protein. It's definitely something that's not for someone who's allergic or sensitive to dairy proteins, obviously, because there are dairy proteins in there. But if you can eat that kind of food, this is beautiful. And so that's the source of the fat. The source of the protein is the Irish cows, which are also living an idyllic life, wandering up on hills next to Celtic ruins and then wandering down when it's time to get milked and, just staying in the herd even when they're done with their lactation cycles. They're just all a big family. And so they also have beautiful quality milk, and our Sport Whey comes from the Irish system, and it's an isolate, which means that it goes through the filtration a couple times to really concentrate the proteins, and you have even less lactose than in a whey concentrate.
More for quick absorption, too, after a workout.
More for quick absorption, and you have higher cysteine. There's 4 times more cysteine per gram of our whey protein isolate from Ireland than there is in our whey protein concentrate from California. The isolate has 4 times more cysteine. And as I said before, that's so crucial for glutathione formation. And so the only carbohydrates in there are any residual lactose and then tapioca fiber. And also there's fiber. When we make our organic flavors, and these are both flavored chocolate or vanilla, the trick to making organic flavors is that you're plating them or making them powder out onto acacia fiber.
Right.
And so